It's being hailed as one of the biggest conservation surprises of the year. The discovery of Kiwi Pukupuku on the mainland, and now the discovery of two tiny chicks. Dock rangers say the little spotted kiwi we once thought to be extinct on mainland New Zealand, but a small breeding population has now been confirmed in the remote Westland backcountry. Ian Graham is Ranger Project Lead at Dock Southland and joins me now. Kia ora. This is very exciting, right?
Good on, Nadine. Yeah, this is an amazing discovery. It's sort of one of those things that we as conservationists and rangers sort of dream about, and to be involved in it is just absolutely phenomenal.
So can you talk to me about the moment that, I mean, were the kiwi just stumbled upon, or were you out there looking for them?
So yeah, earlier this year we discovered the Kiwi Pukupuku population sort of in the backcountry of South Westland. And I guess to begin with, we thought it may only be sort of a lone remaining bird or a lone remaining pair. To date, we've discovered, I think, nine Kiwi Pukupuku in the area. And a couple of weeks ago, we lifted 2 eggs from a breeding pair. We then went in following like a week later, and we're expecting to lift another 2 eggs. But when the team went in there to lift those eggs, they reached in, and lo and behold, 2 kiwi chicks were sitting at the burrow entrance staring back at them. So it was a bit of a surprise for them, but a very welcome surprise for our team.
And the reason you're lifting them is what? Because they're so vulnerable in the wild?
Yeah, so if we were to leave kiwi in the wild with no predator control, they've got about a 5% chance of survival.
Oh, wow.
And that's our bigger kiwi species. So these guys are much smaller than our bigger kiwi species. And so that chance of survival without sort of intervention is much lower than that again. We take these guys out and raise them in a predator-free environment, and release them back in once they're sort of bigger and can defend themselves from our predators. When we do that, there's about a 65 to 70% chance of survival. So I guess because these birds are so special, we want to give them the best chance of survival for the future. So
given the chances they have, does that make it more surprising that you actually found them on the mainland where there are predators?
Yeah, I guess the area that they're in is very remote. There is sort of sporadic predator control that goes on within the area. So, I mean, these birds once numbered in the hundreds of thousands across New Zealand, and to find sort of 12 birds in this small area is pretty significant. But it sort of just goes to show that, I mean, New Zealand's backcountry is a big place, and it took, I guess, a team. It took a contract hunter stumbling across one bird and knowing what he'd found, passing that on to the department so that we could follow up that information to actually find these birds. There has been a little bit of work historically looking for remaining little spot kiwi on the mainland, but with sort of to no avail. As I say, it's a very small area in a much larger area.
So do you think maybe there's more out there? They're just really hard to find, and it's needle in a haystack stuff.
It is needle in a haystack. The work that we're currently doing is focused on finding out as much as we can about this population. We've put out acoustic recording devices across the wider area, and hopefully within the next couple of months we can bring those in, and they will confirm whether or not there's further little Kiwi Pukupuku in the area, and then we'll work together with Kati Mahaki ki Makawhio on what the management will look like for Kiwi Pukupuku on the mainland, sort of now in the near future and further.
So would we expect to re-establish them or re-release them rather on the mainland, or are you going to be releasing them in predator-free areas?
So the chicks will be brought up in predator-free areas. What the management sort of looks like now is sort of yet to be discussed. I guess when we're talking about releasing them back onto the mainland, that's ultimately the goal. We want to be able to release these birds on the mainland and be comfortable in our sort of management that they will survive and thrive on wherever we release them. So yeah, that's the end goal. It'll take a lot of work to get to a place like that, though.
Yeah, but a really exciting development. Thank you so much for your time this morning. That is Ian Graham, a Ranger Project Lead at DOC.